Hello there. Welcome to the Drifting Spore. I'm Steve. It is a gorgeous fall day in Nova Scotia today. Man, I tell you, since the fall equinox there, or the fall solstice, whatever you want to call it, since it became fall, we have had amazing weather here in Nova Scotia. We had a wet summer, but fall is making up for it. I'm telling you, I think we've had 2 days of rain since September 20th, 23rd, 21st, whenever the equinox was. So you really can't beat that. It's nice and cool now. I like that because that means I can wear a hoodie or a light coat, which gives me a couple extra pockets. Basically, is why I like that. Anyway, I'm out on a drift, checking in a few spots maybe, just going wherever my attention is drawn. I'm liking the look of this hillside. I'm on the other side now, and I wanted to check in on a Hericium species mushroom I found more than a month ago, and I haven't been back to see him since. So I want to see how it's making out if I can find it, and just see whatever else the universe wants to show me here today. Spend some time in the woods. It's Thanksgiving weekend, long weekend. We celebrate in Canada. October is second weekend in October is Thanksgiving. So we celebrated Thanksgiving yesterday. So it's the holiday Monday today. So I'm out in the woods. Much needed time out in the woods. It's gorgeous. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoy. So right where I filmed my intro, it took 3 or 4 steps. Now, I don't think this counts. One side of this tree is definitely alive. This side here is alive. This side here is dead. For sure dead. They are connected, but this here is a great example of chaga in a notus obliquus, but he's on the dead side of the tree. And I prefer to harvest chaga in the winter, not in the fall. I like it to be cold when I harvest, and I know there's debate that rages on about chaga and when to harvest, but I harvest mine in the winter. Last winter was a little bit weird where we didn't have super cold temperatures, so you kind of had to pick your moments when you were going to get out and harvest, but that's a really great example of chaga right there. See how it's all blackened and crusty looking. If you were to whack into that, it'd be orange on the inside. Very nice. But he's on a dead tree. So he's no good. Never harvest chaga off a dead tree. Let's continue on. Look what I found now. Not 10 paces from where I was. Really nice looking double birch polypore. Isn't that cool? If you look underneath, this log's laying on the ground. See how nice and white it is underneath? That's beautiful. Check the other side. Look, there's some other, a little bit of pink stuff there. That's cool. Birch polypore. Fomitopsis betulina. Now, I did go on a couple birch polypore harvests this season already. So my container of birch polypore is not empty. But that's a really nice one. I'm gonna get a nice picture of him. Let's see if we can get him just nice with that fern in there and some sunlight. Birch polypore. Very good mushroom. Glad to meet you. Continuing on. Oh, not many steps again. This guy's in a little bit of rough shape. His pore surface isn't great. I wouldn't harvest this one. I wouldn't harvest it because my container of this guy is full. He's still good though. It's nice and hard. He's just above my head too, so I'm stretching to get this shot. That, I believe, I don't know for sure what that is. From the underside of the spore surface, I was thinking Felinus species, which would be like Meshima, but can't really tell because I can't see the camera. So I would think of that as Felinus igniarius, but I'm just some dude in the woods, man. I could be totally wrong. But I do use Felinus in my teas and stuff too. Let's see what else we can see. I think I've drifted further than where my known Hericium was. So I'm going to drift back this way a bit and see if I can stumble onto them. Here's something I wasn't expecting to see over here. So as you can see, there's a tree stand right there. So I've wandered into somebody's hunting area. It looks like there's marking tape up there, so they must come downhill to this spot, I would say. I'm going to come over and have a look. This is why I'm wearing orange, an orange hat, because it is hunting season. But it is bow and muzzle loader, I think, right now for bear. I don't think deer has started yet, but maybe. So I'm glad nobody's in that set. I wouldn't want to be interrupting somebody's hunt, man. Nothing worse than somebody walking in on you when you're hunting. It's pretty rugged terrain right here. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll drift on out of here. I just want to have a look. There's another piece of marking tape there. Okay, I can see the shooting lane now. Straight down the hill. That's just one of these here ladder stands. You lay it up against the tree and climb up and strap it to. So, whatever stand that is, I'm awful sorry to have come upon it like this. It was not my intention. I'm mushroom hunting. I will probably do a little bit of hunting this year, but nothing too crazy. I've gotten so I prefer mushroom hunting to animal hunting. But it is a skill that I want to pass along to my boys, so it is something I will continue to do, at least until they're proficient in it and know how to dress a deer and deal with a deer after they've got it. Once they understand the do's and don'ts of deer hunting and using guns, then I'll probably drift away from doing it myself and just help them do it. Now I'm looking to see if there's a bait pile down here. I don't see anything yet. I'm trying to get, I think I'm getting closer to where that Hericium I'm looking for was. I don't smell any bait. And you might laugh at that, but your senses become quite attuned when you're in the woods. Like normally I can smell mushrooms in an area, or if someone were using apples to bait this area. I'm looking back. Yeah, a tree stands way up there. So this would be the bottom end of the shooting lane. I see nothing but mushrooms. Maybe somebody just prepped that spot right now. For deer season, I would say they seems like a long shot for a bow or a crossbow. Anyway, again, not my intention to stumble into somebody's hunting spot, but that's life. Look at this. These look like all violet tooth polypore, perhaps. If you could hold my staff and my tripod for a second, I would appreciate it. Thank you. Are they violet underneath? Yep, violet tooth polypore. I forget the scientific name right at the moment, because they're not one I'm looking to harvest. They're just violet around the edges. There's a good one, nice and purple. Lots to see, that's for sure. Here we have a couple really nice fresh Phamatopsis mountia. The northern red belt, formerly known as Phamatopsis pinicola, the red-banded polypore. It was discovered in 2018 that the North American version is different, and the scientist who found that difference was named Mountia, so it is now Phamatopsis mountia. Very nice. Nice fresh ones. They're looking great. I am fairly certain that this is the log that my friend Hericium species mushroom was living on, and I see no sign of it now. So something's either eaten it, or it's just done its thing and it's gone. I'm not sure. Looks like a bit of mycelium poking through there. I don't see anything on the ground around it, but I've seen some indicators that show me that this is the log. From what I remember, I might have to go back. Oh, look, there's a cute little mushroom right there. Cortinarius, maybe? I don't know. Very nice. Okay. So he's not there. He's gone. And that's okay. We'll move along. Now, since there's the brook's right there, and one of the spots I cross is right down there. So I'm going to go down, cross the brook again, get back on the side I normally explore, and head up the trail a ways and explore a different area, because it's holiday Monday, and it's morning. So I'm not in a big rush to get out of the woods. So I'm going to head that direction and see what we can see on another hillside up the trail. Well, that's an absolute first for me. I took off down through the woods. Oh my God, look at this feather. How cool. Okay, so maybe, oh wow, that's awesome. Maybe the universe is behind this. So I don't normally do this, but when I was looking at the log the Hericium was on, man, that's a cool feather. I like that. I walked away and got back down to the brook and was about to cross it and was going to film that, so I was going to set up the tripod, and I realized I had left my staff. I can't believe I did that. I'm a little bit out of breath because I've never left my staff behind before. But that's what I was saying about carrying too much stuff, carrying a tripod, carrying my staff. There it is. So, but I found this cool feather. So as you can see, when I find feathers in the woods, I put them on the end of my staff. I used to tuck them under that paracord there, but today I upgraded my staff to ranger bands. So now my feathers can go right inside that ranger band. My son Sam once asked me why I put feathers on my staff, and I told him that you need feathers to fly. And he continued to argue with me that maybe you don't. Lots of things fly without feathers, and I agree, but for me, I need feathers to fly. I get you set up. Oh, geez. My gorilla pod's starting to wear out. There, I get you set up there. And I am going to add this feather. Now, when these feathers fall off of my staff, I don't pick them up again. They stay with me as long as they need to. Poke this one in right here. The ranger band is just great for that. So that's a good looking feather to add to my staff. Perfect. Now back to my tripod. Okay, I'm up around Random Rock there now. I can see Random Rock just over there. I've moved out of that area where I saw the hunting, the tree stand. I don't want to be mucking around somebody's hunting area. So, kind of the things you got to be aware of when you're in the woods in Nova Scotia at this time of year. Anytime past mid-September, somebody could be hunting. So, look at what I found. These here, this is a hardwood tree that this is growing on. So this would make this oyster mushrooms, I do believe. Now my oyster container is full, so I'm not harvesting any of these. It's kind of the time of year where a lot of my containers are full, so it would take something pretty special for me to harvest right now. But do I ever appreciate seeing these guys? Now, one of the identifying features of these is that they should smell like anise. And they do. That's so cool. I could never get over that. They smell like black licorice, is what anise means. So, very cool. Nice to meet you. I'll give you a look there, up close and personal. Oyster mushrooms. That one's got some bugs crawling around inside of them, too. It seems like what I haven't been seeing lately, though, is slugs. I don't know if slugs are all done or what. That guy's pretty dried out and rough looking, but how cool, eh? I get a picture or two of these. Very nice. Very nice. Well met indeed. Yeah, if I was looking to harvest oysters, that would be exactly what I'd be after. I guess those would be fall oysters. Something started making a racket as I was walking away from them oysters, a bird of some sort. And here we have Random Rock, one of my favorite spots to come chill. He's a nice big mossy rock. I've been wanting to come in with a hammock right here. With a little bit of work, I think I could get a hammock stretched out right here between this tree and that tree. And man, what a great spot for an overnighter it would be. I don't really, yeah, I don't know. It depends how I would pitch it. The difficulty is getting a tarp over it in the woods like this. What did I just see? I saw something over there. I saw movement. I don't see anything now. Oh, it's a bird. What kind of bird? There it is. Oh, it actually landed almost right on the oysters. It's just kind of fluttering around there. There he is. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. It's just a little bird. There he goes. Always seeing something. Eh? All you gotta do is stop and look. So, Random Rock, nice to see you. Very well met. This old birch, dead birch here is just covered in horsehoof fungus. Oh, and look at these guys. I saw these guys earlier in the year. They're kind of hidden. Look at those. Are they rotted out? No, they're perfect white underneath. I have no idea what those are. They're a polypore. They are cool looking. Never really seen anything like that. They are not red belt. Well, that brown, right brown on top of them is actually their spores. I can rub that off, which is kind of like something an artist conch would do. But that doesn't really look like artist conch to me. Those are cool. I'll have to review the video that I made that I found those in, because they look different, that's for sure. It's on old piece of birch. How cool. Very well met. I'll be digging in my book to see who you are. I get a picture of them too. Excuse me, ferns. There we go. A picture of the underside. Very cool. Well, let's head up the hill. I want to check the Hericium, the log that I harvested Hericium species off of earlier, a couple weeks ago, and see if that regrew or what it did. So let's head up the hill and keep seeing what we're seeing. I don't know if the camera's really catching it, but the light in here is just beautiful. Forest floor is covered in leaves now. Does not get nicer than this. That dead stump there had some chaga on them. Now, let's see, this is the log that I harvested the Hericium off of. Yeah, you can see right in there. That's where it came from. That little guy I left is still there. He's drying out. That log's got mycelium in him. I don't see any new growth. There's the end of the log where I harvested. No new growth there. So this will be a great log to check next year when Hericium species time comes. Big old birch tree there. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna keep wandering. So I saw this log laying over here. It looks like a hardwood log. And I'm thinking of Hericium, and they like hardwood logs that are laying down and sometimes standing too. The two I found this year were both on down logs with no bark on them. So I was approaching, but then I saw this. I'm still going to approach, but to me that looks like a trail. And when I look in there, I see a very dark spot in that triangle of rock. So let's go have a look. I don't know if I want to approach this face on, but I do want to get a look at that log. Oh, that's somebody's home for sure. Look at that. Anybody home? Hello? I am Steven. I don't hear anything. This little trail running right to that makes me think that's definitely somebody's house, man. Oh, it goes right through. What a great spot for a critter to hang out, eh? Actually, I've seen that before. Oh, look here. There's mycelium right there. That's a good sign. No telling what the mycelium's for. That's the problem with hunting season and having to wear an orange hat. I can't really put my hood up. And now underneath my inside my hoodie, I've got a whole bunch of pine needles and stuff. I don't see anything Hericium looking here, although I do see some mycelium. Let's check up here. Hear geese coming. Oh yeah, there's geese coming. I probably won't see them from in here. Looks like they're actually, sounds like they're actually heading north this time for a change. Last week, all the ones I saw were heading north as well. Look at that little guy. Huh. Not seeing any Hericium on this one either. Nice big hardwood log. Nothing on that one. That was a really good contender. Let's see what's up on top of this hill. I've never been on top of this hill before. Let's go have a look. I love this pack for the versatility it provides. To be able to put different things in different places. Why can't I get this off? Come out of there, you. I know you fit. You went on there. So, like being able to put my foraging basket, my old fishing basket, on the back of this, tie that on there. That's pretty cool. Being able to carry my tripod on the side. This is definitely my favorite pack. So I'm heading up this way. The stream way I'm normally going would be this way. So now I know that if I go this way, north is that way. So southwest is that way. So for me to come out onto the main trail back to the car, I basically need to go west from what I'm seeing here. I am not an expert with a compass either. Dead reckoning is about all I got. I usually go to areas where I know where I came in, there's a long road that goes north and south, right? So I know if I'm coming in from that road, I'm heading east. When I'm going back, I'm going west. So west will be the way to get me out. Southwest will get me out too. Perfect. So now I can head up the hill with a good idea of where I'm at and where I'm going. See if we can rig this just a little bit different this time so I can have some. There we go. That's not bad. Oops, sorry, smacking the mic. Okay, let's head up this hill and see what we can see. Look at these little guys. Get a little polypore coming there. Not sure which one. And we get some nice little mushrooms coming there. Again, those guys, little brown mushrooms aren't my thing. They're cool to look at. That's a nice picture there. Very nice, so thank you. Seeing some downed hardwood. I'm gonna keep looking, keep seeing what I can see. Here we are again. Another great example. Paying attention to where your attention's drawn. So back there, I saw that bent tree. It's like, man, that tree is bent. I'm gonna go over and check that out. It caught my eye. So then as I was approaching, oh, look at this nice stump. It's just covered in tiny mushrooms. Very cool. So then I saw this. Now, that is a big old burl of chaga. And the tree appears to be alive. So that's a mental note right there, that this chaga is good. And once we get to below 0 temperatures and the trees go dormant, that's going to be a harvester. This tree is, a little bit of rough shape. He might be in trouble. I don't know. I hope not. Let's see if we can get a good look at that chaga. Oh, look, it's hollowed out. I wonder if somebody already took a chunk of that. Maybe not, but all around this side, I have seen it. That could have been, no, I don't think. I was going to say that could have been a big stuck out horn, but this branch here makes me think it wasn't. I'm just going to get that branch out of the way. So a big chunk of chaga like that, man, you bust that down to small chunks, that could last you the rest of your days. That's a really good hunk. There is a dead branch there, but this tree is leafed out. So that's a good one to remember. Not that I need chaga, I've got quite a bit, but always good to know where your next burl of chaga is coming from. Pretty cool. Inonotus obliquus? Inonotus obliquus, I think. Anyway, very cool. Hello, Mr. Woodpecker. Nice to see you. Looks like you're having a productive day. Very nice. Well met, sir. Hello, Mr. Squirrel. Good to see you, my buddy. Are you ready for winter? Don't be alarmed. I mean you no harm, man. I see ya. Have you seen any Hericium species mushrooms anywhere? It'd be nice if you did. I could use a few more for my supplies for the winter myself. You're looking very nice, very healthy. Good for you. It's getting really thick up here. Oh, he took off. Is it a critter hole? Anybody home? I don't think so. So that's good. Got some mushrooms there that I don't necessarily recognize, other than they are pretty cool looking. Hold my staff please for a second. I get a picture of those. Very nice. I like them. There's another big clot of them down there. Cool. Now, let's see if we can find the creek again. This is not something I'm interested in picking or anything. I just want to have a look. Isn't that nice? I'll get a picture of that. Not sure what that would be. Very nice. Good to meet you. Okay, let's head back down the hill a little bit. See if we can find a spot to take a break. So I've been on the move now for almost 4 hours, I would say, excuse me. So I'm due. I need a little break, a little sit down, and then I'll probably head her home. Oh, it's got, what are those? Little pink guys. Seen these before. Very nice. Might as well get a little picture of those since we're here. Look at this tiny thing. I don't know what that is, but it's cool. Good to see you. Now I see a rock right here. I'm gonna see it's right on the stream. See a rock over there. Wonder if I can clean this rock off enough to get a cup of tea or something on the go. Massive down tree there. What sin, but I hate to see these huge trees laying down. Oh, I see a couple more nice rocks up there. Man, we ain't never gonna stop. Oh, I'll show you that. He's a little bit old. Anyway, here we are. It's break time. So I found a couple nice size rocks. Hang up my gorilla. I don't know what that is. I'll put him there. And now let's get this pack off and get it hung up. So I've got my pinch strap with me. I wonder, I have no idea where this came from, but it's serving me very well. It makes it so I can don't have to worry about cutting a branch or nothing. I just lob this pinch strap around a tree. Come on. Right, just like this. Pull it tight, and my bag is hung. Instant. I love it. So let's start getting cleaned up here. I'm just going to clean off the top of that rock a little wee bit. and we'll get break time started. Look at that. This rock is split right down through here. So for that gives me the name for this spot. I'm really liking the vibe right here. So I am going to make this a spot, I would say. This is going to be split rock spot. I like it. I'm not seeing any great opportunities for camping up here, but we're up to where the creek that Chickadee Rock is on and everything else, and the mossy spot and the ferry hole. We're up way high of that, and it is just a nice area up here. Good vibes. I'm going to start getting set up here, and we'll get a nice cup of tea on for break time. Okay, I really like the height of this from right here. So let's see what we got. I'll get this opened up. I've got my kneeling pad, should I need it, which I might need it, I think, to have a seat and just kind of enjoy some time here. I got my mug, which I'm not going to need just yet. Perfect. I've got gloves, because when you're playing with fire, you should definitely bring gloves. Now, it's not very windy out today, so I didn't bring my Coolan's box stove. I just brought my homemade components to my stove, and that's what I'm going to use today. Now, I'm not the type of person that eats 3 meals a day and snacks. I'm more of a 1 meal a day, maybe something else, not very much. That's kind of my diet, how I operate. So for me to come out in the woods and have a big lunch, that would mean that I'm not going to eat again today. So I don't want to do that today. And you know what? I find that the wind's picking up a bit there now. I find that when I eat too much, I don't feel very good. I feel best when I've got, 4 to 6 hours behind me since I ate last. And, I didn't eat anything today at all since last night. So I had a snack there later on last night. But that's the last time I ate anything other than a cup of coffee this morning. So, and I feel fantastic. Energy levels are up, feeling great. So anyway, never mind all that. Let's get tea time on the go. The Split Rock Tea Time Drift. Yeah, let me see if I can find a level enough spot. This here's my homemade methyl hydrate stove. Just a water chestnut can. I put elastic around it. Oops, so that it all stays together in its bag in my pack. Just put that elastic right there. So this is a version of a penny stove. The water chestnut can is simply like the stove component. Oh, I dropped my loonie. My beer can stove or penny stove would be the burner component, and I use a loonie to block off my fill holes once I get it lit. So this is the burner. It goes in the stove component. The loonie will go in there once I get it lit. This cover is just to keep everything together. And I'm going to put my loonie right there. I've got my methyl hydrate. I don't want that bag to blow away. And I've got crossbars. These came off another stove, one of these wick stoves. Came with that, these bars. But I found these bars to be perfect for using on top of this little stove. For my canteen cup, my canteen sits on there just nice. So that's what we're going to do here today. Now, I'm going to measure out my water for my tea from my canteen. I've got another elastic around my canteen cup handles, just holding that all together so it's not getting beat up in my pack. Got my handles there. I'm gonna need to rinse that out just a little bit. My canteen's full of water I brought from home, so I don't need to worry about boiling or purifying or anything like that. And I brought lots, so. Now, as always, I'm filling my mug first. There we go. And I'm going to use that measured amount in my canteen cup so that I'm not boiling water I don't need to boil. Just enough for a cup of tea. So now I'll take this water and dump it into my canteen cup. Perfect. So now this can go here for a minute. Please don't fall over. I'll make sure I actually remembered to hit record on you guys. Yeah, I did. And maybe I'll bring you guys in a bit closer for this part. Okay, I'm all set up there on my nice little level patch. I'll give that a try before I light it, just to make sure it's not going to fall over or anything. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I'll be able to... I don't want to get too far down that side though, do I? It's a little bit more level. Sometimes I struggle with getting my stove level, but to boil water, that should be good right there. Okay, let's fill this stove up. We'll take that off. Filling the stove is always the most finicky bit. I've got my methyl hydrate bottle really full today for some reason. That stove will just suck that right up. Once it stops taking methyl hydrate, that's when I know it's ready to light, that it's full. And once I light this stove, it's burning until it burns out. I don't have any way to shut it off. Which is fine. I mean, it doesn't burn that long, like 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops. It should boil water in, 10 minutes or less. So it's not going to be, shouldn't be too crazy for how long it'll burn. It's taking a lot of methyl hydrate though. It's starting to hold in the top there now. There we go. I haven't seen it come out to there. I've got it out the jets now. So we'll put that right there like that. Get the cover on my methyl hydrate. This is where the fun begins. Put him down out of the way. So I want to make sure I got everything ready here. I'm going to put that right in the middle. Perfect. Now grab my ferro rod. And I don't know if I can do this from here. Yep, I did. That was a long shot. I don't know if you guys even saw that. I didn't really mean to light at that time. I was just kind of, my ferro rod's still quite new. So I was just giving him a couple scrapes there. Anyway, we're lit, we're burning. There's a bit of wind, but I can negate that in a second. So now my crossbars can go on there in a second. Just let that burn and warm up a little bit. And then I can throw in my loonie over the fill holes. Ooh, that's hot. There we go. So now my crossbars can go on. And then my canteen cup can go on. Try to get them nice and level. There. Perfection. I like it. That should take no time at all to boil. I'd like to see that come to a full boil. Oh yeah, that's it there. That's a nice rolling boil right there. Nothing wrong with that. Oh yeah, that's boiling. Perfect. Perfect boil right there. Not sure how long that took. 6, 7 minutes maybe. Hardcore boil. Love that little homemade methyl hydrate stove, man. What a game changer. Okay. So that's a good boil there. Let's get him off the heat. Get my tea bag in. I'll let that get steep in there. Actually, I might chuck him on here to give him a few little bubbles to get that tea really going. Yeah, that's better. And look, I could kind of snuggle this up to the stove. It'll kind of keep just simmering. Ooh, cool. Hear that? It's just close enough to the stove to get some of that heat. Yeah, that's cool. I like a nice strong cup of tea, so I'm going to let that steep for a little bit. Get it nice and dark. It's Earl Grey tea I got there today. My favorite. Yeah, I can pull the crossbars off of that. So that stove's just going to burn till it burns out. And my tea is looking pretty good. I get that in my cup now. All right. It is tea time. My tea smells lovely. Really good. I'm just going to put him there till he cools. My little stove's just going to burn till he burns out. I'm going to find a nice place to sit and just kind of look at all this and soak it all up. Don't spill. Oh, there we go. Now it's break time. Got my nice hot cup of tea. It's nice and strong, good and hot, a little bit bitter. That's how I like my tea. What a beautiful day. Here in Canada, we celebrated Thanksgiving this weekend, and today is the holiday Monday. So, whole family's got the day off. We've had a busy weekend celebrating Thanksgiving, and we had a little bit of a non-hurricane come through. Felipe might have been its name. I'm not sure. It didn't cause any trouble for us or anywhere else in Nova Scotia that I'm aware of, but it was something to keep an eye on through the week. Turned out to be nothing. So I'm grateful that it turned out to be nothing, and I'm able to get out in the woods today. That's what I'm giving thanks for today. This bit of time in the woods. This lovely cup of tea. The amazing things I've seen while I've been out here today. It's awesome. I'm just going to sit here. My stove's just going out there now. I'm just going to sit here and listen for a little bit. Let the sounds of nature bounce off me. Smell, man. The leaves just starting to fall and decompose. That's the deep wood smell. I love it. Very grateful to have found this spot too. Brand new spot. I'm going to call it the Split Rock spot. Not a great spot that I can see so far for camping or anything, but beautiful spot to just come, have a cup of tea, see what you see along the way. I'm up beyond Chickadee Rock there now. Not a great deal beyond, but I am up past it. It's very nice. Anyway, I'm going to sit and be quiet now for a bit. Just enjoy the sun coming through the trees, reaching the forest floor. Very nice. Look at that. I was just setting you guys up to have a look at what I'm seeing while I'm sitting here. And we got turkey tail. Light turkey tail. Tramates versicolor, I believe. Don't take my word for it though. Look it up. Very cool. I got lots and lots of that at home though. So I won't be harvesting any of that. I think my basket's going to remain empty today. And that's all right. So I just wanted to show you what I'm seeing while I'm sitting here relaxing. I'm going to move up to a little bit higher ground here because this has the look of a really nice seat. Oh yes, it is. There. Nah. How perfect, man. Just amazing. Well, there we go. I guess break time's over. It's early afternoon. Beautiful. That was a nice cup of tea. That was a loud sound. The wind's blowing a little bit here today, so hear the odd tree popping and moving. I always have a look around once I'm packed up, because I mean, just earlier today, I left my staff behind. That's the first time I've ever done that. All right, looks like we're gathered up. We had a good break, man. What a good bit of time in the woods. Love it. Thanksgiving, holiday Monday, great all around weekend, great bit of time in the woods. I can't believe it. I can hear the chickadees coming. Right up that way, there's chickadees coming. Happens almost every time. It's either blue jays or chickadees for me. That's cool. Anyway, break time's over. I'm going to start working my way back down the hill. I'll pretty much pass by a Chickadee Rock and the Fairy Hole and Random Rock and the Mossy Spot to get down out of it. Like I say, I'm super grateful to have found this spot, Split Rock Spot. Love it. Love it when a spot has an appropriate name. There's turkey tail around here. A couple different trees I'm seeing with turkey tail on it. Fitting for Thanksgiving as well. So, I'm not going to close the video just yet, or will I? It always happens that when I close the video, I end up seeing something super interesting on the way out. So, I'm going to just start working my way out. If I don't see anything, I'll do a little video there before I pop out to close the video out, I guess. Let's work our way down the hill, see what happens. There's one of those situations there. I was following that little creek there, thinking I was on the creek that I followed all the way up here. Look at this tree. And I've just noticed that that is not the right creek that I'm supposed to be following. I believe they'll come together. Check this tree out. That is huge. Very big. It looks to be pretty dead. Hopefully nobody's hiding under them. No. Look at that, eh? It's hollowed right out. Crazy cool. Now, let's see if we can get on the creek we're supposed to be on, which is over here, I think. Either way, I know that west will bring me out. West, southwest. Yes, this is the creek. And like I say, once you get beyond Chickadee Rock, this little creek all fingers out. See, this is where I saw the squirrel. It all goes into fingers, and you can easily get yourself on a very similar looking creek that is not the creek you want to be following. So, I'm heading the right way now. Downhill towards home. Chickadee Rock should be just up here. And there we are, back to Chickadee Rock. And our massive teepee frame. I don't know what these guys are. They're gilled. Definitely gilled. Gills are quite crowded. I don't know if those would be honey mushrooms or what they are. I'm going to get a couple pictures of them. Very nice. This one here to me looks like, let's look underneath, pretty good. Is it gill? No. Ah, look at the spores that have fallen off them. Looks like a mossy maple polypore to me. I forget his scientific nomenclature, but pretty sure mossy maple polypore, as he is growing on a very nice tall maple. Very cool. Nice to have met you. See the moss on top of them? Well, there we go, folks. I'm down to the bottom. What a great drift we had. Couldn't be happier. Couldn't be more grateful on this Thanksgiving holiday Monday, Thanksgiving long weekend here in Canada. I overflow with gratitude today for this drift. Wow. We saw a lot of things. We drifted in a couple different areas. I got to try out running my foraging basket on the back of my pack, which worked pretty good. Although I'm going home with nothing in my foraging basket, what used to be my fishing basket, I'm still okay with that. I would have harvested Hericium species had we found them, but we didn't. That's a-okay. We saw so many other cool things. Found a brand new spot, the Split Rock spot. Can't wait to get the boys up in there. Have a look. I think they will like it too. So, beautiful, beautiful fall day in Nova Scotia. So thank you very much for watching. It was great to have you along. I hope you'll join me on the next one. Bye for now. Oh, and remember, life is for the living. Just go live it. Bye for now.